Hi everybody. I'm doing an impromptu live because I haven't done one like this in a while. Also, considering I just signed off on the new whatever agreement with the new TikTok masters, um, I know how much longer this app is going to roll for me. I'm just here because today has been a weird day and I haven't done a live in a while. Also, I'm not in Georgia, I'm 40 miles east of Atlanta, and we are right in the middle of the storm. It is wet, and apparently on Sunday, the reports are we're going to get ice. And we're going to ice starting Saturday night, so I don't know, we'll have the internet, so, and all that. But I'm just here to probably be my last live on TikTok. I'm nervous about TikTok lives because TikTok lives, oh boy, it's really hard what you're going to do. Can't say, don't say. But I thought I'd give it a shot. Most of the time, I'm probably going to stick with Substack because that's a little better and I can download the live easier. It does it for you and breaks it up in pieces, which is kind of cool. See, Coffee Man has joined us. How you doing, brother? My God, wow. So, not covered in the mass media, but covered on independent media. Um, in negative degree weather, Minnesotans were out in force clogging the streets of Minneapolis. They were there. They're out in force protesting what's going on in their city. And what's going on in their city and in this pretty much the state of Minnesota itself, and now going on in Maine and other parts of the United States, is chaos. Total and absolute chaos. There is absolutely no reason for what's going on today. There is no mass immigration gangs running around attacking people. There is no criminal element in the state of in Minneapolis. This is all created by the Trump regime and ICE because, wow, it's been a lot. And the attitude of these ICE agents is basically, hi Danny, how you doing? The worst of the worst. These people are the people you just didn't hang around with. These are guys in high school who thought they were tough, had the lifted F-150, who peaked, who thought they were, the man. They're not. They are just, I can't even describe these people. They are not, they have no humanity in there. And why? So a couple of days ago, I don't get it. This is about making numbers. This is about getting certain people off the streets. I would say what I said in a comment, but I got dinged by it. But it's not about enforcing immigration laws. It has nothing to do with it. This is about dealing with a threat created by Stephen Miller in his bald head. Okay, remember what Stephen Miller said, what they said about Stephen Miller, that he would want America to be no more than 100 million people. Oh, so Denny says they're in Anaheim right now, they're everywhere around there. Oh, that means they're around Disneyland. Oh my. So you're going to get, there goes tourism. There goes tourism again. They're around Disneyland. And again, these are not where hardened criminals hang out. This is not what the mandate is. What you're looking at, what you're seeing is developed by a sick brain of the Heritage Foundation and Stephen Miller, who I said, to finish my thought, who wants America to be no more than 100 million people and to be white. This is how weird and bizarre this is. One of my videos today, if you hadn't seen, there was a Hawaiian lady who came on talking about something her grandson had gotten. And apparently this is going around. It sounds like it's coming from, if not the Heritage Foundation, what is that whacked out thing they're using for education. They're sending out they sent to her grandson this packet, My Immigration Journey, or some weird shit, where the child puts on there what country their family came from, circle, where your parents from, how long you've been in this country, your information. It is literally a kid's version of interrogation. That's what it is. And my God, I mean, the woman's like, she's in Hawaii. Now, I've been lucky, and those of you who have been, who are here, if you had a chance to go to Hawaii, I had a chance to go to Kona. And in my video, I said we drove to Oahu. No, we drove to Hilo. I'm sorry, to Hilo. We were telling, why would you choose a pedophile over an immigrant? Making make sense. Because he gives them what they want, Ferdinand. He makes them feel good about the cruelty that they do. Understand, a lot of these people watching this cheering it on. When Renee Good was shuffled off this mortal coil, I mean, I just saw a video of a comedian talking about what happened to Renee Good, and a lady stood up and said, why are you talking about that? I have brothers in the military. What does that have to do with anything? And that's what he said. And everyone's like about ready to... It's in Minnesota, and this lady's jumping up on him. And she went to, well, she shouldn't be what she had. So she was MAGA, and MAGA being the MAGA logic, twisting it so they could feel better about what they saw. Quick note on Renee Good, she was still alive. I don't know if she had been saved, but at least if they hadn't prevented a doctor from showing up, it would have been okay. It would have been something. And that's the cruelty. The cruelty is the point. Remember, Donald Trump, from everyone has told me in his lives and people around him, kind of has a kink to watch people suffer. Do you remember during January 6th, he was watching that eating? He was down with it. He's literally down with the sickness. And that's what most MAGA are. They're down with the sickness. And the sickness is cruelty. The sickness is suffering. Okay? They dig it. They love it. It makes them feel better. And then evangelicals are using it for power and to make money, and they twist my religion and my Savior to feed their needs. All you have to see that Don Lemon covering that protest at that church, and that one dude that came out, and Don Lemon was asking, well, what do you feel about ICE? How do you feel about the situation? I don't know. I'm just here to worship Jesus. Everyone should just worship Jesus. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, dude, you know what you're talking about. And if he knew what Jesus would have said, he would not be advocating what's going on. Okay, the pastor said the same thing. And if you have a pastor as an ICE agent, a field director, that's an issue. Okay? Now, I still have a small problem personally of busting into a church service. Okay? But my issue, because I don't think it would have worked. I think I would have waited afterwards or been protesting outside the church. Okay? Good trouble, I get it. But that's my take. But I don't blame them. And they shouldn't be arrested and charged. Okay? Unless they trespassed them. If the pastor didn't trespass them, that's different. But that's my take on it. But to watch those people and you talk to them, they were exposed. Because remember, evangelicals do not worship God. They worship money and power and the pastor in charge. That's why you have those mega churches. Those mega churches should not exist. Those are just grifts. If you ever seen The Righteous Gemstones, that is not a comedy show. That's a freaking documentary. Honestly, that's a freaking documentary. And the testing they did early at the end of the year, last year with the woman and the baby formula, exposed them for what they are. Okay, and unfortunately, they have a huge foothold in the White House. Understand, evangelical preachers have an office next to the Oval Office to advise the president. So understand, a lot of this stuff that you see, a lot of this stuff that pops up, like all of a sudden, well, what is this? What's going on? I don't get it. A lot of those pastors come in and they whisper in Trump's ear. That is Stephen Miller. Because let's face it, Trump is not all there. We could tell from that speech from Davos and the speech in the press conference before. And he's just there, and they're just keeping him busy. But going back, so going back to what I was saying, Danny, I don't know if JD Vance becomes president. She's asking would he keep Stephen Miller. I think JD Vance is just going to do whatever they say. He is he is literally. Those of you who are older, those of you who are older, know. Remember the show Gumby, Pokey. Do you remember all that? If you had one of those toys, which were made of some kind of plastic but with wire in it, and you could bend it everywhere, or, like that, that's JD Vance. JD Vance has no free thoughts anymore. He's just spewing all kinds of crap. You saw that in that speech in Minneapolis. Okay? He spewed that crap in Minneapolis. And when they started asking about the 5-year-old child, Liam Ramos, God protect him, please, and the 2-year-old they stole. God. Remember, in the first Trump administration, they put children in cages. And ICE seems to be targeting students and kids. Why? Okay, what's the yes or no answer you're looking for, Ferdinand? Would you choose a pedophile over our immigrant to make it make sense? No. What the hell are you talking about? That makes no sense to me. Okay, that's just a whatever. Okay, that makes no sense to me. Okay. All right, moving on. So to answer your question, hi, Brian, thank you for the gift. I got it. Thank you very much. Really appreciate the support. Just so you quick know, I don't know how long we're on TikTok, because the TikTok has, the ownership has changed. The plan for Oracle and their group, and Larry Ellison as part of the group, is to break TikTok into an overseas version and an American version, and we have to download the American version. But knowing what Larry Ellison has done to CBS News by putting Barry Weiss in charge of CBS News, this is basically going to become X with videos. So we don't know what's going to happen. As Mike said, we're just going to hang in there. I'm going to hang in there till they tell me you got to go. I mean, this is a count 3, so whatever. But I am on Substack at Binder38US is Substack. I am on YouTube at Binder38US. Subscribe to my channels, like my stuff, so the algorithm will help me out. Also, I do have a paid subscription service on Substack, but I will tell you, I don't keep stuff behind a paywall. If you want to contribute, it's great. I think it's $8 a month. That would be great. I would appreciate it. It helps me through everything. I'm going to back up a little because some people had asked questions, so I'm going to back up. So here we go. What I was talking about is that this packet, this Hawaiian grandmother had gotten, and basically asking where her grandson had come from, where their parents had come from, how long they've been immigrants. Okay, apparently this is showing up in other school districts. Remember, to vote Republican is to vote death, so that's probably a Republican thing. And what they're doing is they're sending them out, and they're having the kids circle where their parents come from. Who's your parents? All that. It's literally interrogation, looking for reasons to raid people. Understand, they are going after naturalized citizens. They don't care anymore. Someone in Maine, when they found out about them, they asked them, they're going after even people who are supposed to be here. This is about collecting bodies and bonuses. It's just, it's infuriating because they're not a law enforcement agency. But I'll get back to it in a minute. I'm losing my thought. Sorry. So the lady was describing all that to him. And apparently they're in Arizona too. And then And she said, I'm a native Hawaiian. Where am I going? Where am I from? I was born here. The people who are immigrants are the whites who have been here. Okay? They're the immigrants. They're the ones they call haoles. Okay? We've been here forever. Hawaii was conquered. Hawaii is like Puerto Rico. It's literally a colony of the United States. Hawaii was just made a state. Puerto Rico is not. Hawaii has their own culture. They have their own language. She has an accent. That's a Hawaiian accent when she's in the video. Try to find my video. I tagged it. Look at it. She has a Hawaiian accent. When I went to Hawaii, everyone thought I was Hawaiian. It was so cool. Man, it was really cool when we drove to Hilo. And the place is great, and I love it. And if I could live in Kona, I would. I know it's expensive, but again, pipe dream. And I'm talking for the weather. The people is great. They're just beautiful. And that's the thing. If school districts are now complicit with ICE, sending stuff out to children so they can track down parents or grandparents, that is scary. And again, I want to ask, why is ICE collecting children? Why are you collecting children, teenagers, junior high kids, toddlers? Why are you collecting children? Why is this obsession with schools? Okay? What is going on? It disturbs me because I have ideas that I don't want to go there. And all I can think of, there's a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old in a cage somewhere. You said it, Danny. I didn't. But considering who's in the White House, and I think I said it on one of Mike's podcasts, and Mike kind of, the Bachelor Boomer, kind of reiterated in this video. The Epstein files have gone away the wayside. I mean, the DOJ is filed with the court saying that the courts cannot regulate the law, which is to release the Epstein files, because they don't have a right. It is the stupidest thing. Okay? But I kept wondering, what is there? I mean, if you're doing... This was more about, to me, because Epstein recruited children, girls from Mar-a-Lago. And I said to Mike, and I'll say it to you guys here, I've been to places that have Tao people. They're usually in their 20s. Okay? Who hires teenage girls for Tao service? Who does that? Hey, TJ, how you doing? Who does that? God help me, who does that? And then, as we know through before the Epstein files and all that a lot of these girls, and Trump was upset that he took some of his girls. I'm under the impression, and I think Mike agrees, and a lot of people would agree with me, that Trump had a piece of the action of this. And now also, Trump has instructed the DOJ not to track child traffickers. He's also instructed the DOJ not to track white-collar crime. I'm sorry, that's a pattern, okay? The FBI is only being used to do what they're doing, like for Renee Good. Quick side note, the FBI agent that was in charge of the Renee Good case went to his boss and said, hey, this is not an assault case, which they want him to see it as assault on a federal officer. This is a civil rights violation case that we have to investigate as. And he said, no, do as I say. So he resigned. That's the state of the FBI. Terrorists are going to have a ball with us because they're not being tracked. The FBI is not what it is. It is, I don't know. I can't say that. But, I mean, that's where we're at with ICE, which brings me to a lot of things that bothered me in the last week or so. Um, so Chuck Schumer, being Chuck Schumer, 2 weeks ago I saw he was being questions like when senators or congressmen walk through the halls, reporters catch them and start asking questions. Okay, and they were asking Chuck Schumer about ICE and what are you going to do? Are you going to use the appropriations for ICE? What do you think what ICE is doing? Silence. Man walked over like a hunched over gnome and not said a word about it. He has not said a word about ICE at all. Okay. There is, and from I got this when I had a podcast showing him at a fundraiser sponsored by SpaceX, Elon Musk, and Palantir, Peter Thiel, and just so you know, ICE agents are using Palantir's whatever AI base to track people down because they got a lot of data from the Doge pukes to track down looking for illegal aliens. Okay, that's why they've been busting doors on random. And he hasn't said a word, but all of a sudden, they were really easy to come up with a bipartisan. I hate that word nowadays. Agreement to keep the government running because remember, as of the 30th, they had to do it. But there's no question, nothing about the ACA, nothing about health care, just a continuation of the same budget to September, okay? Including some increases for DHS in lieu of training and body cams for ICE. That goes back to, if you've seen that video by Cory Booker, he laid out all of those things we saw. And he showed all the things that were going on in Minnesota, telling we should do more. And his solution was more training for ICE and body cams. First of all, the man who shuffled off Renee Good filmed the act himself with his phone. In fact, he had his phone in one hand and the weapon in the other. Okay. And then and so he's thinking body cams. The reason that video got out because DHS and Kristi Noem thought, hey, this is great video. This is a recruitment thing. Yeah, it went badly because basically he incriminated himself. Quick sidebar. Hey, Minnesota DAs, I don't care, it's the county or the city. Quit dragging your feet. Just file charges for him. Make him become a fugitive. You have enough evidence, video evidence, what happened. You have witnesses all over who saw the incident. And you're waiting for what? Just charge him and let the rest fall. But okay, that's fine. I mean, that's my side note. But Cory Booker came with all that, and they came with this agreement, and they sent it to the House. Now, originally, Hakeem Jeffries wanted that just to be, yep, we got it. That's how we're going to do it. And he wanted everyone to agree to it. But then came what happened to Renee Good, the tensions in Minneapolis. So he got them to break out the DHS funding from the budget. Okay? Again, budget doesn't have anything about healthcare or ACA. Not a goddamn thing. Okay? And Democrats agreed to that part. On the DHS, he wanted a separate vote. So they got a separate vote. Now understand, and I'm going to say this because I'm getting a lot of shit from people. Okay? I want to make this clear. I do know that Democrats are not in charge. I do know they're the minority. Okay? I'm not stupid. But I do know that you can make good trouble. They could have futzed with the budget, forced them to do votes. They could have made their lives miserable. But not, they just rolled over. Because honestly, these dumbasses believe the headlines that people blame them for the shutdown. understand, Democrats run on fear. They have brought some kind of new think tank, their version of the Heritage Foundation, called Searchlight, run by corporate assholes and corporate political consultants who are telling them stuff that really doesn't exist. And I'm going to get to it in a minute. So when he got to the DHS votes, and that's what we're talking about, Vincent, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute because I'm going to tell you why they won't and what we can do. So when they got to the vote, Hakeem Jeffries flipped and said he recommended a no vote. But most of the time, if you are a leader on the floor, minority or majority, you have the whip. Now, the reason that they give you the name the whip, your job is to whip the other members of your caucus into one line, to vote as one mind, okay? As we know, 7 Democrats voted for the DHS funding, okay? Hakeem Jeffries did not use his whip, didn't use the person who's his minority whip to get him online and vote. Republicans do it all the time. He didn't do it. Why didn't he do it? Okay. Everyone's excuses is that they're all in swing states. They're all in swing districts. They're afraid if they do that, the Republicans will say that they're not for law enforcement. That's what this Searchlight think tank is telling them. That if they oppose ICE, that it's like the George Floyd thing, that everyone's going to say you want to defund the police. That is absolutely wrong. We're talking literally apples to kumquats. ICE is not a law enforcement agency. They're not enforcing any laws. They're not even enforcing immigration laws properly. Okay? Yeah, I see that, Vincent. This is ridiculous about that too. But they're not enforcing any kind of immigration laws. They're supposedly not supposed to stop people and ask for citizenship. They're not. The only reason they should be picking up people if there's deportation orders. And then they still have to go to court. And then you have to have a signed warrant. That's part of the 4th Amendment. And you have a due process of the 5th Amendment. But no, they have become above the law, which makes them lawless and not law enforcement. So the Democrats, in their mind, are still fighting last year's battle or fighting a different battle. Because they keep worrying about their districts. It's so close. It's so close. We saw what happened last year, and that's what people keep telling me. They did it because they're worried about what happened the last time. They barely got elected. If they go in there like that, they may not get elected. Have you not been seeing the special elections? I'm in Georgia, okay? They elected 2 public commissioners here, which handle the power grid or have the power rates. Democrats. They haven't won that in 20-something years. The election was just done, and they won 60 to 20%. People voted for the Democrats. There have been Democratic wins in Mississippi, Democratic wins in Iowa, there's a Democratic mayor in Miami, okay? Here in Georgia again, there's a Democratic mayor in the city of, just outside of Atlanta. He beat the Republican candidate. What was their message? Affordability. I'm going to look out for you. Okay? But these dumbasses who live in their fucking, in their bubble, keep getting these corporate bullshit and these statistics from last year. The game has changed. In a year, Trump has destroyed the economy. We've lost jobs. We've lost importance around the world. ICE is scaring everyone to death. The polls aren't lying. People don't like ICE because they don't like their tactics. Set aside the immigration question. They're violating everyone's constitutional rights. The rights that they do not tread people want it. They're changing it now because it's Trump. But you see what I'm saying? This is not a question about immigration. It's a question of constitutional rights. And they're taking our goddamn rights away. All right? They don't, I mean, you cannot walk up to someone and say, let me see your papers. I don't have to answer that question. I'm in the United States. You have no probable cause. Now, for me, they have probable cause because Brett Kavanaugh set up that while they're, I guess, some kind of stay saying that, yeah, the Fourth Amendment, you have probable cause if they have speak an accent or have brown skin. Fucking said that, okay? Allowed racial profiling. And he's upset now because he found out that ICE people called them Kavanaugh stops. What do you think was going to happen, you doofus? Okay, the Supreme Court, but that's where we're at. They're not law enforcement. So all those 7 Democrats weren't worried about, did not see what ICE is doing to American citizens. All they cared about, like Republicans do, about keeping their power. No fucking courage. You have no courage. It wasn't going to pass. It wasn't going to fail anyway. It's going to pass. They only had Thomas Massie voting against it. Still would have passed the House. But you're literally, to use the term from the movie The Dark Knight, what happened to you? Did your balls fall out? Yeah, that Texas Airman was the one with the Trump pardon. He owed him. Yeah, that was going to happen. Yeah, Vincent, I got you. That's true. That dude was going to. Yeah, he was going to. Yeah, he was going to do that. So he's an exception. Okay, I got that. He's just a Republican in Democratic clothing. But everyone else, they keep breaking it down. He won 1 point, 4 points. It's a different game now. It's not about bipartisan politics. That's the thing they keep trying to feed us. Democrats keep trying to feed us, corporate Democrats, understand what I'm saying, keep trying to feed us that it's about bipartisan. There is no bipartisan anymore. There's right, there's wrong. And the right side is keeping our constitutional rights, checking a president who thinks he's a king, who's literally ripping us off. New York Times reported that Trump and his family, since he became president the second time, has increased his wealth by $1.4 billion. $1.4 billion. Shit, he sold that Venezuelan oil and put it in a account with Qatar that only he can access. You can't even do that in real business, let alone the Treasury of the United States. But Scott Bessent is such a sycophant, he doesn't care. I mean, that was just, oh my God, I can't, oh my. Okay, that's what your job is, okay, to check that as Congress. Check the War Powers Act. Check on his health. The president's health, Trump's health is not good. It's not good. You could see that when he was at Davos. You could see it every time. Dementia has settled in. And we're not being run by him, we're being run by the Project 2025 and Stephen Miller, who's literally a crazy man. A racist, crazy man. I mean, these are truths. These are just facts. We could see it. But Democrats don't see that because they live in this bubble. Chuck Schumer still thinks it's 1999. There was a video of a groundbreaking in New York that was part of the CHIPS Act left over from, mistaking Greenland for Iceland. But we were wrong, according to the bubble-headed bleach blonde that comes on at 5. No, since Greenland is made of ice, the president was mistaken. We were. I mean, George Orwell from his grave has said, "No, that's even too much for me." Okay? Oh my Lord. But it's crazy with this, with Democrats, because they keep thinking. So going back, I apologize. Just responding to what Vincent said. So they're at this video of this groundbreaking is from the CHIPS Act, and Howard Lutnick was there, the Secretary of Commerce, taking credit for the Trump administration. Okay, and so a reporter asked him, "Hey, why are you here? And why is Trump taking credit for something that happened under the Biden administration with the CHIPS Act?" And before he can answer, all of a sudden, sticking his face into the camera was Chuck Schumer with a stupid beanie on his head saying, "We're not going to talk about that. That's not important." What are you fucking talking about? He defended Howard Lutnick from a legitimate question from the press. That's Chuck Schumer. Hi, Deminar. How you doing, brother? From a legitimate question. And again, please like this live so I can get it out further. We're going to go probably another half hour. And that's what we're thinking. You have him, you have Cory Booker, and they don't live in our world. They live in a world that doesn't exist. They still believe in bipartisan. There is no bipartisan. It's really simple. Either we win or we fucking lose. Either we win or we lose. And if we lose the Republic. Hugs Marco Rubio doesn't hug. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're going to talk about AIPAC too. That man is so far down AIPAC's pants, it's not even funny. Chuck Schumer is a really bad person. Okay? He's not serving the state of New York, he's serving himself. And by the way, quick note on Zohran Mamdani. He's already gone after landlords who haven't been fixing their tenant stuff. He's gone hard on it. He's already set up stuff for daycare. And I thought the funniest thing I saw, it's sad that the best politician in the country is running the city of New York. Optimistic welcome. The best politician in New York is in New York, because Zohran, when they asked him about the ice storm that's coming through, quick note, there is no FEMA. FEMA fired people because there was no hurricane season. They said, yeah, we don't need them. FEMA disaster is only for hurricanes. That's how stupid these people are, okay? Now they're trying to hire, they rescinded the termination because they want them to help because they know this ice storm is going to be really bad. They know it's bad in Texas because Ted Cruz left for California to get into sunny California, which is in the 80s. I mean, literally, Positani Ted left. My God. Yeah, FEMA money went to ICE. That's probably true, Debonair. But can you imagine how unaware you are? Unaware you are of what you did years ago and the shit you took for it, and you did it again, knowing there's a storm going. Either he doesn't give a fuck about the state of Texas. Okay, that is true, he doesn't. But he doesn't really care. He doesn't care. That is just like solely unaware of what of everything. That's what's insane. And he has nothing going on in his head. But yeah, the ice, FEMA's gone. And we're going to be in a world of shit when that ice hits. I don't know what's going to happen here. God, I hope we don't lose power. I am not prepared for that bullshit. Yeah, Texas grandma. It was horrible in 21. But here we are again. And I lost my change up. Democrats. So basically, those guys live in a different world. They don't see that. They think they're doing good for the United States. They're protecting their political back ass. Okay? Their political asses. But the problem is they're protecting them from the wrong thing. It's changed out there. Okay? The Republicans would not be fearing the midterms if it was the same world. It's not. Okay? And we have to do, and now I'm going to clarify myself, because I said it on Aaron Parmas' comment, one of his videos, the Democrats betrayed us. Yes, they did. We know they're not going to win, but at least stand up. Be an opposition party. Okay? Because you cannot cooperate with Republicans. Look what they are supporting. All you have to look is what they're doing supporting with ICE. All you have to do is that, and that will tell you everything they support. And also, no health care. The Democrats approved the budget extension without fighting for the ACA subsidies again. Again, people don't have health care. Let me put this in clarity, okay, real quick. Yeah, there's no money to get, though, Danny. Trust me, there is no money for FEMA. They're incompetent. I thought the Bush administration was incompetent. Katrina, we already seen that. Remember what happened in Texas with the floods? They got no FEMA money. They got no FEMA help. They didn't. It's bad. Okay, and a lot of those places are still fucked up because they didn't get any money, federal government. Here in Georgia, Brian Kemp declared a state of emergency. Usually when you declare a state of emergency, you do that and then you reach out to the federal government to get ready for any kind of federal funds to help you. He didn't do that. Because he knows that's a lost cause. It's a waste of time, a waste of paperwork. Okay? But like I said, the Democrats live in this bubble. And what I'm trying to say is that the midterms are coming and they fear them. The Republicans fear them because they know they're about to get swamped. The only people who don't understand that are corporate Democrats like Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, all these guys. When we vote, and he's going to do primaries first, you have to listen to both of the Democratic candidates. Hakeem Jeffries has a opponent in his 8th district, a gentleman named Vance. I did a video on him. I have a link to his video. And he's going against the money machine as Jeffries. He's asking for donations. And he's straight up forward, talking about affordability, talking about abolishing ICE. He is down. He's using 4-letter words. I'm down with it. Okay? And he's saying, I need help. So if you can help his campaign, look for my video and put it in that. But here's the thing. We need to, if there's a candidate like that you can see is trustworthy and is true to their word, talking about progressive ideas like, healthcare, abolish ICE, affordability, getting everything reset with Europe, rebuilding the supply chain, taxing billionaires so they pay their fair share. Fuck you people. Trickle-down theory does not work. It does not work. Since 1980, close to 40 fucking years, 45 years, 42 years of that. 1980, whatever. It doesn't work. It is a bullshit thing. No one wants to give you money. Rich people do not give you money. Never have. I mean, history tells you that. Look at the Rockefellers. Look at Carnegie. Look at all the monopolies that were set up. J.P. Morgan. All of them. They didn't give money to the poor or the working class. They considered them just worthless and just there to serve them. That's why the biggest people getting socialism from the United States are corporations and billionaires. Simple as that. The person getting SNAP is not ripping you off. Corporations with tax cuts are. Billionaires with tax cuts are. We are subsidizing them. Hey, farmers, you're not going to sell soybeans. There's still no market. The Chinese are squeezing us because they know Donald Trump's an idiot. And tariffs do not work. Again, statistically, 96% of tariffs. And by the way, have you heard a job report? No, because they're not reporting anything on the economy that's falling apart. In fact, they're ignoring the economy. They're ignoring prices. They're ignoring jobs. They're ignoring it because they know it's that bad. How are they dealing with it? The Ross, Secretary of Agriculture, is saying you can eat One piece of chicken, broccoli, and a corn tortilla, $3 a day. Oh no, I was wrong. It's actually, we did more simulation, $15 a day you can eat well. What the fuck are you talking about? That's how they look at us. That's how they look at the working poor, the working people, us. We're not worth it. They don't see us. I mean, Scott Bassett talking about, people, older people owning 5 or 6 homes. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? You own 5 or 6 homes. Trump's saying, yeah, I can reduce the cost of homes with a stroke of a pen, which you cannot. But I don't want to do that because that's going to make sure that older people, boomers, won't get value in their homes. Fucking shit doesn't work like that. He has no idea how the economy works. He still thinks tariffs are being paid by this, by the countries. They're not. We paid 96% of the tariff costs. Americans in buying products. And the other reason why they're not addressing the economy, because they keep telling lies about the economy to Trump. And when the polling came out about Trump's performance, which is horrendous about the economy and everything, he had a shit fit saying that is all lies. The economy is the greatest in the world. ICE is doing everything. Everyone loves us. Everyone loves me. And the polls are lies. And I'm going to sue everyone. He's going to sue he wants to sue the New York Times poll because he thinks that's wrong because everyone tells him he's loved. Everyone in the White House tells him, I'm loved. If people love me, what the fuck is wrong with you? He has dementia. And Johnny Bananas put it really straight. The frontal lobes are going. He's filling in the pieces. And they can't tell him the truth. They can't. The only way the truth came in is that with the Greenland push, is that once they threatened the trade agreement, which I don't think is still going to go through, and the Danes, Denmark, sold $100 million of treasury bonds out of their state pension, that caused the stock market to tank for that day. Trump got phone calls from his buddies. Hey, dude, you're fucking me. Do something about it. That's why he came out with that out with Greenland. We have some kind of framework of an agreement that we can do what we want in Greenland, which we could do anyway. You see? And this is, people say it's Taco in, and so when he does that, he's been yelling and screaming on that. Yes, I was saying Vincent, Mike Carney got a China deal. Yeah, he got a China deal. And they're making deals with China. The Chinese are having a ball out there. I'm not worried about them doing anything militarily to Taipei or Taiwan. You know why? Trump has put pressure on the Taiwanese market with their tariffs. The Chinese would just come up and do a deal with like they did with Hong Kong. Hey, we'll give you some autonomy for a few years. Join us. We'll make a greater China. We'll make sure you have good trade deals. We'll take good care of you. You're still our brothers. You're just confused at the time. Do you want to deal with this psychopath here in the United States? He's not going to protect you. He can't even protect his own citizens. He's sicking people on his own citizens. Okay? Wow. That's the thing. The Chinese are projecting power. They have aircraft carriers. People keep forgetting the Chinese were one of the first merchants ever on this planet with boats. When Marco Polo showed up in China, that was a surprise. Yeah, they've been doing business for centuries, homie. Europeans are behind the times. And we're dealing with a bunch of guys in the White House who are just clueless. They're sycophants. They believe in a Christian America doesn't exist. Their version of Christianity is not correct. Their version of America is not correct. America has always been a conglomeration of everyone coming together. We're all immigrants. It's only Stephen Miller's fantasy, his white supremacist fantasy, that gets us through here. See, Suave Devanar. I was in China last year. Amazing country. Clean, modern, zero homeless, not a shithole like us. Yeah, you have to pay a price. Their government is still their government, but they invest in things. And Trump's thing about windmills, oh my God. And that's the thing. We were moving toward that, a modern economy and infrastructure under Biden. When Biden left office, the economy was the number one economy in the world. Now it's shit. Because Trump took it apart. He took all the federal spending out, did all this. Doge, they sold Doge. People in Social Security sold our information to ICE. Took our information to ICE. It is, I've never seen anything like this. And there's no guidance. There's nothing about the economy. Nothing. Just bullshit. Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. If you worry about it, that's because you don't believe in Trump and you're the problem. If I hear one more of these motherfuckers talk about Trump derangement syndrome, are you out of your fucking mind? No. We just see an incompetent man with incompetent people around him. Every time he has a cabinet meeting, it's just a suck-up meeting. I mean, there's not even board meetings. If you had a board meeting like that and people were not giving ideas or were dealing with what's going on in the company, I'd fire everyone there. The owner and the CEO, they have to be fired. Shareholders are getting screwed. We're getting screwed. We are stockholders in the United States. Shareholders, we're getting screwed. We're getting screwed. Yeah, well, Vincent Greenland is still not off the main. Probably not. It counts what day or month, okay? Yeah, I'm hearing people are taking up arms, getting ready for ICE. Let's talk about that real quick. In the Second Amendment, you know what the Second Amendment says pretty much about tyranny, okay? And that's what it was designed for. Now, it has been perverted over the years that you can own any weapon, period. Personally, I don't mind you owning a weapon as long as it's regulated. I always thought weapons should be regulated like vehicles, okay? When you buy a weapon, you got to register. You got to show you can use the weapon. You got to know how to safely store it. You have to take lessons. You have to get a license. You have to be renewed every year. You have to pay fees to the state for your renewal. You have to, get insurance for your weapons. And that doesn't stop you from having a weapon. It just regulates it properly. Well, what about the bad people? What if they get weapons? They're going to get weapons anyway, you dummies. I mean, there will be an underground market. That's where enforcement comes from. No one's stopping you from having a weapon, but Suavana Devaner says I'm the right to defend state. Yeah, Minnesota has cast a law. They just don't have that much open carry, like here in Georgia, okay, or North Carolina. So let's talk about North Carolina real quick. When I showed up in North Carolina in Ashland, do you remember over the summer or just before Christmas? They didn't like it. Why? Because people were open carrying and threatening them. I remember that one lady in the yard, those two people put up Christmas lights, two Hispanic guys. ICE rolled up and grandma rolled out with her weapon, chased them off. They're open carry people that ain't going to deal with it well. And it's your Second Amendment right to carry arms and fight against a tyrannical government. And people in Minnesota are out there with their weapons protecting their property. You've seen a couple of them. And what's the reaction of the far right? They need to be arrested. They can't do that. Weren't you the guys that want "Don't tread on me" signs? I have a right to have a weapon. I don't want to wear a mask because that's a government, all that bullshit. And now, do you think that's a bad idea for a man with a weapon to protect his property from people who have no right to be on his property, to do things without probable cause? It's going to happen, guys. They're going to bust down the wrong door. And here's the thing. Everyone's being told to comply or die, which that means people don't have anything to lose. If you have nothing to lose, you're going to react that way. And someone breaks down the door in the middle of the night and there's weapons in the house, there are going to be reactions. Okay, and from what I can see, what ICE is wearing, I don't think those are top of line vests. And some of those guys look like me, and their vests are sitting up. So you go set our mask low. Okay, I'm just I agree with you, Devin. Good luck getting my place. All right, and I mean, and there was a video of a guy going, I'm a liberal, I don't have a gun, but I'm about to buy one. I bought an AR-15 today, learning how to use it. And they really think, and I love all the magazines, we're going to go get you because y'all bunch of pussies. No, we're not. No, we're not. There are more weapons in this country than people, and trust me. All right, it's just not going to. No, no. And that's the thing I'm afraid of, because where we're at right now, I said this in the video earlier today or the other day, where we're at right now is that the president has decided he's a king. Congress has decided he's a king because Grindr Mike Johnson is the worst speaker in the House. Why is he the worst speaker in the House? Because any speaker worth his salt always knew they were an equal branch of the government. Technically, the speaker was equivalent to the president to an extent. Okay? Because they held the purse. They had to put legislation on the floor as the speakers at the speakers want. See what I'm saying? That's what a Speaker of the House is. Powerful Speaker of the Houses have done it. Fuck, Kevin McCarthy got run off because he was like that. When Trump was, they didn't like that, or with Biden, they didn't get it because Mike Johnson thinks that Congress should do whatever Trump says. That's not correct. And Republicans are finding that out on every fucking town hall they're going to. He gave up the power of Congress. And Democrats, instead of being an opposition party, still think it's 1982 or 92 or 2002. They can reach an aisle. Even in the days of Mitch McConnell, they think there's some bipartisan shit. There is no bipartisan shit. There is none. They should be an opposition party, but as we saw with the vote today, and then with it not funding for the ACA, we can't depend on Congress. Courts. There have been federal courts telling Trump you got to stop, but they ignored it. The Supreme Court has literally given carte blanche. Again, Kavanaugh stops. Kavanaugh saying, hey, it's fine. If they're brown and speak an accent, you can, that's probable cause enough. Okay. Fifth Amendment rights, no due process. I mean, people they pick up, even people who are assailants who go to court, who are there at immigration courts trying to get their hearings, they're picking up because they're not letting due process go. That's a violation of due process. And you think it's bad now, they are listening, the Supreme Court is listening to challenges to the 14th Amendment to try to change the 14th Amendment about naturalized citizens, people born in the U.S. from immigration parents. And they're trying to change the Constitution without a constitutional amendment. That's how whacked out the fucking Supreme Court is, the majority are. John Roberts is not a true Supreme Court justice or the head of Supreme Court justice. He is a sad man who literally during the years when Reagan was president always argued when he was a clerk at the Supreme Court that Chief Justice of the court, that's what I'm shooting for, Chief Justice. He always argued that the president has leeway to do anything he wants with budgets or anything. Now that Trump's president, he gave it to him. That's where we're at. Hold on one second. I can do some puzzle stuff. And so that's what we're doing. So the Supreme Court we can't trust the courts because Trump's not listening to the court. Hell, they picked up that 2-year-old today with her dad. And they said there was no reason to do it. There's no immigration Withdrawal, nothing. You need to release them. 30 minutes later, they sent them to Texas, to the concentration camp. They ignored the court. Same thing with Leo Ramos. They ignored the court. There was no deportation order for them. There is no deportation order for them. They were true asylum seekers going through the system. When someone goes to an immigration court, they're lying in wait. They're taking them. And now ICE is running immigration checkpoints. They're walking in the streets of Minneapolis asking for everyone. So, what does that leave us? TJ the plumber has arrived. Hey, TJ, what's up? Hey, TJ.
What up?
Not much. I was just doing one of probably my last live here on TikTok before I get tossed
Well,
with,
that
with the new
well,
things.
I think that's a little you know,
Oh, you think I'm being a little bit dramatic?
it,
A little drama?
a little
Yeah.
bit. We don't know
Yeah.
that for sure.
No, I don't know for sure, but Larry Ellison is part of this. You saw what he did to CBS News, and they're
Well,
fighting hard to get.
yeah,
Um,
he's a scumbag for sure, but like I think he wants to take down the big creators. Honestly,
well, they're taking down themselves because I saw about what's going on with that one dude. Oh dear God, what the fuck that was? Whew.
which one?
OJAW.
Yeah.
That
That's a real fucked up situation for
yeah,
sure.
I mean, and that's but I guess, but yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm saying is that TikTok is like when you do a live on TikTok, you're always kind of juggling balls. You know how that is.
Yeah, well, I got banned for 72 hours last
Congratulations!
Saturday.
Yay! Isn't that cool? Um,
Yeah, well, over I was talking shit on my brother and I got banned.
yeah, that'll do it. So you can blame Leon. Liam, he did
Yeah,
probably just point.
I blame him 100%. Yeah.
So we were. I was just going through stuff, everything that the psychotic stuff that's gone on recently, and the one thing that I was saying is that the courts aren't going to help us. They ignored that court today about sending that 2-year-old back. Basically, they
Right.
couldn't get rid of him. They
Well,
they
I'd like to say that you're right in some regard, but some of the courts are helping us.
they're
So it's
trying,
kind of, yeah, there's some that are, then some that aren't.
right?
The
But it's
Supreme
getting.
Court, the Supreme
Right.
Court's not going to help us. We know
Oh
that.
God, no. God no. That's the thing. I like that story when Bert Kavanaugh set this all off by allowing ICE to violate the Fourth Amendment if you look like me or have an accent.
Yeah.
Um, and
My favorite thing that came out is that ICE can come to people's houses with no warrants. I love that. I want them to come.
that's the
I
thing
want
we're talking about. So that's what.
I invite them to come to my home with no warrant.
Oh my lord, that's the thing. It's going to happen.
Oh, well, I welcome them. I welcome them to try it.
The Second Amendment is going to be used somewhere.
Right. That's the
It,
part they're not getting.
yeah, and the
And
funny thing about it is, I love how the far right. There was the pictures of that guy in Minnesota with a rifle outside his house, waiting for ICE, and they all went, "Oh, he needs to be arrested." Why?
oh, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, listen. Remember back when the NRA said we're an organization that's going to defend America against a tyrannical government. Remember that?
Yes.
Where are they now? Where are they now?
There's don't tread on me, guys. What a
Yeah,
bunch of
where's the NRA? Remember when they said that? Oh,
yeah,
we're going to defend the country against a tyrannical government. Where are they now?
yeah.
Oh, wait. It fits their narrative. It fits their narrative. The racism and misogyny and brown people getting them out of this country for the master race. They love it. They love it.
Here's the funny thing, and I saw this. There was you saw my video with ice being in Hawaii. Okay, I've been to Hawaii. I love being in Hawaii. You know why? Because they all thought I was Hawaiian.
Right.
Okay, that was cool. But Hawaii is like Puerto Rico.
Right.
Hawaii has their
Exactly.
own language. They have their own people, and they're looking for immigrants. And the video was about this grandmother said her grandson got a packet wanting them to find basically saying where you're from, what was your immigrant journey. What immigrant journey? You're born in Hawaii. They're
Right.
Hawaiians, and it's like, and she speaks with a Hawaiian accent. That's going to go over well in ICE. The people who are immigrants who shouldn't be there are the white people who they call haoles.
Right.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like they're in Puerto Rico. They're all upset about Bad Bunny. Oh, I love that. Bad
Yeah.
Bunny. Bad Bunny is going to wear a dress because there are. He's going to wear a dress one of his numbers because there are a lot of drag Puerto Rican artists. There really are. Um, but I love. I don't know what's going on in the NFL. They don't like Donald Trump. They hate Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, he kept trying to hone in on their stuff, but they got Green Day to open up the ceremony. Green fucking Day.
Yeah.
Oh, oh God,
I
that.
I
Go ahead.
I
I'm sorry.
I met Billy Joe Armstrong once, and I know his brother.
Oh,
So
oh,
like I get like I give them major props for doing that. Like, and the way that they amended their lyrics is amazing.
you know the first thing they're going to do is American Idiot.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sorry. They're going to do it. They will. I find it hard to believe that they're going to kind of back
well,
off.
it's a band that I've been following since like the mid '90s. You know what
Right.
I mean? So like I've been there all along, and like I applaud them for taking a stand.
They, but they've been doing that for years.
Well,
American
they've
Idiot.
always done it. They
It
they
wasn't just Trump. It was
they've
before
never
that.
changed. They've never flip flopped or changed their values.
No, no, they have been who they are, and it's. And I just thought it was hilarious. And the thing about it is, the NFL is not stupid. They know their audience, and the MAGA people are this much of the audience. That much.
Right.
Women are the majority of the audience.
Well,
People.
The Dropkick Murphys have proved that,
Yep.
and
The
I,
drop.
and I and I know Ken Casey real well, and he's a good fucking dude. That dude, he stands by his convictions. I can say that about Ken. If there's anything that's truthful about him, it's that he stands by his convictions. And when he says, "I'll fight Nazis outside the show," he fucking means it.
Oh, he believes it. I
Yeah,
yeah.
he means it.
And then like Bruce Springsteen last week had an impromptu concert, and he went off. But he's been fighting him for years because he keeps using his fucking music.
Right.
Don't use my music. I mean, but the thing right now where we're at is like, it's getting to the point, which my concern too is that after what happened to Renee Good, the first thing that hit my mind was Kent State.
Right.
Okay, because I don't know if I remember Kent State, and I remember one of the reactions was from Ronald Reagan, and Reagan said, "If it takes us using a force to stop this, we're going to do it." That's when he was governor of California. He said that. He approved of what happened in Ohio. I remember that. So the Republican Party hasn't fucking changed over years.
No.
So
Don't.
it's
Hey, Will. Don't you think it's weird that Donald Trump uses a song that was written by four gay men that wrote a song about having sex with men at the YMCA? Don't you think that's fucking weird? I'm just saying, like
I
that's
would
really
say I would say yes, but considering everything else come out, I'm going to start saying it tracks.
yeah, okay, yeah. You know, I all right. I'll give you that.
Because yeah, and we have to. That man is sick, and I mean physically sick. There's something wrong there, and they're trying to hide.
Hold on, let's see if we can get some more people in here. Let me fucking work on this. Go on. Sorry.
I mean, you've seen it. I mean, the whole thing at Davos was so embarrassing, but I kind of expected it. I'm down with it. I mean, it is what it is. And basically, the only reason he backed off of Greenland is when the Danes sold $100 million of treasuries out of their pension, and it caused the stock market to take a shit. All of a sudden, we had a framework for Greenland. Yeah, because he got pressure. I mean,
Right.
honestly, they could crush our economy tomorrow.
Absolutely. If they cash in our treasury bonds, we're finished.
I mean, the
We're
Japanese,
finished.
the Chinese. You know how much the Chinese hold? Dear God.
Yeah,
I mean,
they know that. We'll be done. But they don't want it. But the Chinese, they realize that and they can harm us, but they don't want to crash the US dollar. They don't want to do that. So
no,
they can put a hurting on us, but they're not going to crash us all the way.
that's the thing. All the other shit that's going on, what does it mean for U.S. poors if they cash in the debt? That means, honestly, Rocky, the entire economy will collapse. Hyperinflation. The dollar becomes worthless. Everything gets more expensive right away. Literally. If you know the history, the days before Hitler came to power, you know what came to power? Shit, I just fucked up. Came to power, we had hyperinflation where the mark was worthless. I mean, it took thousands of marks to buy a sausage. That's what it is. The whole financial infrastructure would collapse. The other thing the Europeans can do, and they were threatening, they could throw out your American banks and American finance companies out of Europe. They have that right at the EU. They could pull that if they
Right.
ever got to that point. Economically, from Europe, they can do that. And they put a pause on the trade deal already. So there's going to be problems. The other thing we have to remember too is that the economy's on free fall. No
Right.
one's addressing the economy. Nothing. I mean, well, I take it back. The Secretary of Agriculture is addressing high prices, saying that now we can eat at $15 a day. All her
Yeah.
simulations said that's
A piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, a tortilla, and one other thing. And what I said in my live the other day, when I got banned, by the way, is that one other thing is the little crappy carton of milk that you got in high school. That's
yes.
the one other thing.
And that whole but see, they're not serious. That whole thing about the whole milk. Who cares? I really don't.
You know
It's
what?
not a big deal.
Fuck whole milk. I want them to drink raw milk, all of them. I want them to drink raw milk every day, every Trump LaFuck, drink raw milk every day because that's what I want you to do.
I mean, let's face it. When I was in school in LA school district, you could get literally this was a snack for 25. What was it? 25 cents. You can get a bowl of rice and gravy. I swear to Almighty God, it was really good too.
That's really that's precedes my time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you. And then those of you, if you're in the things, you could get for 50 cents. They made this badass cinnamon roll, really
Right?
huge. And so that was what they were serving us in school. There was no nutrition, nothing like that.
Right.
There was no free lunches. There really wasn't. There was nothing like that. Okay. Um, and I'm glad we changed the system, but that tells you how unserious they are. They really don't care about the economy because they know it's bad. And
Right.
Trump, the polling is out. It's horrendous. I mean, New York Times poll is just ripping him from immigration to economy, all of it. Trump's reaction was simple. He got mad and called it fake. It's all fake. They're all trying to get me. He's gonna sue the New York Times poll because it's fake. He says that all polling that's against him is fake, and if you believe that, you're not patriotic. He believes the economy's fine. Why? Because everyone's telling him that. And they're not doing a damn thing about it. The economy's on free fall, free roll. And whatever happens, happens. They're not involved in it anymore.
Right.
It's laissez-faire to the extreme. I mean, even Hoover would be shocked, and he did nothing. So, I mean, this is where we're at. The guy is literally, and the only thing he cares about is all his vanity projects and watching ICE abuse people.
Well, yeah, of course. Like the cruelty is the point, right?
He's a king.
So yeah, that's what they want. They want the fear. The fear is a driving goal. The fear is the driving goal, and the cruelty is the point, right?
Yeah, and
That's why they're detaining 2-year-old girls and 5-year-old boys, right?
I have a different,
Because
and teenagers too. I have
yeah,
a really dark idea about that, and I don't want to go there. But it's kind of
oh,
trash.
JD Farmer's here.
Yeah. Hey, JD, how you doing?
What's up?
Hey, JD, thanks for making me get taken down on fucking Saturday, motherfucker.
What?
I got taken down on my live because you
What the
coerced
fuck?
me into doing it.
What happened?
I have no idea.
Well, that's fucking bullshit. What the hell is that all
Well,
about?
I'm past my ban, so I'm allowed to be here, so it's
Oh,
all
fuck,
good.
fuck yeah.
I
Hey,
was
did you
saying
guys
about-
see? Did
Go
you
ahead,
guys
JD.
see what happened in Minnesota today?
Which
You
thing?
mean that-
It's 100 things,
Streets full of
motherfucker.
people?
Well, first of all, the general strike in Minneapolis, and there was a protest in Minneapolis, and I'm hearing numbers like 100,000 people showed up.
The streets were full. It's negative degrees, and Minnesotans showed up. The
Yeah.
streets were full. Here's the thing. They picked the wrong state.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Right.
they thought that Minnesotans were just yeah. You know, these people. I was telling Mike when I did the last podcast, they didn't see Fargo. Okay, Minnesotans or those people over there are capable of some really nasty shit, and they're pissed. They just want to be left alone. They're fine with their neighbors. This all started because their Speaker of the House wanted to be governor, so he got that. What's the name of that idiot, so-called YouTuber? Oh, I keep forgetting his name because it makes me ill.
Oh, that fucking Nick Shirley kid or whatever.
Nick Shirley, yeah, looking for fraud that already been adjudicated already, came up with
Yeah.
that thing, and that's what Trump's impetus was to send ICE to find the Somalis who were doing fraud. By the way, that woman, that final case was finished up, and she was fined, and it turned out to be a white woman in charge. They don't talk about that, but she started that. That Speaker of the House, that Republican, has blood on her hands. Because she's supposed to make a power move to help to bring down Tim Walz. No, all you did was upset a whole bunch of people in the state and got everyone else in this country ready for him. They're in Philly. And I don't know what's going to happen there. They're in
I know what's gonna happen.
Go ahead.
They're gonna find out. That's what's gonna happen when they go to Philly.
And they're in Maine doing stuff. There's that video that one lady filming. The guy goes, "Well, you're going to be in a database. You're now domestic terrorists." Those guys really didn't have much lives, did they?
No. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. There's a significant difference between Maine and East Philly. I've been to East Philly a lot, and I know what the fuck happens there. If they go to East Philly, well, I kind of doubt that they will. They'll go in the suburbs, but they ain't going to East Philly. If they go to East Philly, they'll never come back.
No.
I'm telling you right now, they'll never come back if they go there.
Uh-oh. Truckers here.
Notice that they're not going to those places. Why are they hunting at schools? Why are they chasing school buses? Why are they in fucking hospitals?
Easy
I
targets.
don't get it. And it is ridiculous to watch these guys because they all act bad and everything. But it's going to happen. Really going to happen. Hey, trucker, what's up, brother?
What you say, Will? TJ? JD?
What's up?
Time before the ice arrives in Georgia, and we're all panicking.
Well, I can tell you what, Will, it's worth the panic because I was out there today. I had to go pick up my work car from the shop, and we're used to it. And I tell you what, I was nervous the entire time. I was just like, Jesus, Mary.
What?
It's nasty, and it's bitterly cold. It's so cold that I just said, fuck it. I'm staying inside the house for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad.
You guys don't even know what the fuck bad is.
Hey, Blue. No, I know what bad is. It's outside my house.
Yeah, bullshit. Listen,
Hey.
bitch. Well,
Hey,
I'll get 20 inches in one night and nobody closes a fucking school district. You guys don't know shit about
My
what's bad.
Hey, my kids are out of school.
Yeah,
Hey,
well, it don't matter.
it's-
I'm just telling you.
it's 35 below zero where I am. Shut
Thank
up.
you, JD. And
Yeah.
we're what, an
Yeah,
hour
you-
and a half away from each other?
Yeah, you
We're,
know what?
about 2 hours,
And
yeah.
none of you motherfuckers are getting 20 inches of snow in the next fucking 4
I
days.
can handle 20 inches of snow. It's just a cold.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I can handle 20 inches of fucking snow.
No, you can't. All you pussies can't take it.
Shut up,
Hey.
TJ.
And Matrix says Texas version of the Ponzatelli Phil. When Ted Cruz left Texas to go to Laguna,
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, he did.
Take
Fuck.
some more weeks of winter because of that bitch.
Hey, am I the only one that's seen this video of the ICE vehicle in Philly that they set on fire?
I love it.
Oh, but I'm
Yeah.
not surprised.
Yeah, they set that bitch on fire. It was a black Tahoe.
Yeah.
And it was just burning. And ICE was just standing there looking stupid. They couldn't do anything.
No, they
And-
couldn't do shit
Yeah.
because they know they're going to die. That's why. Listen,
Here's the thing: you said
you don't
that,
want to
T,
go to East Philly. I'm telling you.
You said that T, and I thought of that scene in Tombstone when Wyatt comes up at the train station and shoots that guy and looks at Sam Elliott's character and puts up one finger like the first one. That's what it's going in Philly. That's
Yeah.
the first one. Number one is coming.
Yeah, I saw another video today of a cop. He stopped by. I think it's like 3 or 4 black dudes, and they just embarrassed his ass. I mean, they all surrounded the cop, and they were just embarrassing him, telling him, "Don't you feel stupid?" You know what I mean? You know, jumping out of your car on us,
Wait.
thinking you had something.
Was it a cop or an ICE agent?
Well, it had HSI, whatever HSI.
Yeah,
is.
that's Homeland
ICE.
Security. Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
it was ICE basically. Yeah.
Yep. It had HSI, and the cop wouldn't say anything. He just kept standing there looking stupid, and they just mocked this dude for like 20 minutes. And I'm like,
And he looked
Philly
like a
just
dumb
does
cop.
not play.
No,
Those
Dude.
guys are weebs. They're just weebs.
listen.
You can hear what
Listen,
they
I-
talk.
You guys should.
They can abuse women and children. That's all
You
they
guys
got.
just for shits and giggles. Sometime you guys should go to a Philadelphia Eagles game. There is a listen. There's fist fights in the stairwells. I'm not even joking with you. Like there's like fist fights in the stairwells, and like it's crazy. Like
They do that shit for fun, too.
yes,
They're nuts.
these people are unhinged, motherfuckers.
What the hell is wrong with Philly?
They
Listen,
have-
listen. Philly is a prideful people. They're gonna fuck you up. So if you go there and try to fuck with them, they're gonna fuck you up.
Don't you
Just
live in
wait.
Philly?
Did you see that
No,
lady-
I don't live in Philly.
Did you see that lady in Philadelphia? This motorcyclist cut her off and she said something to him and he hit her window. She got out. This lady was 5'3", grabbed
Yeah.
that dude off the bike and whipped him.
Yeah, she whooped his ass. She whooped his ass. That's Philadelphia. That's Philadelphia in a fucking 2-second fucking meme right
And then
there.
she probably went to pick her kids up from daycare right after
Yeah,
that.
she fucking whooped his ass, and that's the reality of Philadelphia.
I mean,
I'm not even joking.
Didn't Didn't some of those Proud Boys showed up in Philadelphia and got run out?
Yeah, they got beat the fuck up. They were
Yeah, they
fucking
showed up
bloody
and
leaving there.
Philly
Yeah,
said no. They
yeah.
said
They
no.
said, "Fuck you, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah,
So
You can't fuck with this place. I'm telling you.
when are they going to Philly? I can't wait.
Yeah,
well, they've been out. What I'm hearing from a lot of people, and some people in have been telling me that they've been outside, like the suburbs, like they did, like they did in Minnesota, Minneapolis,
yeah.
in
But
the suburbs. But they're starting to come into the city. They ain't going to work well.
but
Um,
here's the stupid part. Here's the stupid part about it, right? They told them they're coming. That's
yeah,
that's beyond stupid.
Yeah,
They're giving them head notice
Right,
and
right
giving
they're
them.
like, "Hey, we're coming for you."
They're giving them
Okay,
time. What they're doing is they're
Yeah.
giving them time to get more creative.
yeah.
right.
So I should get stock in Master Locks right now.
Yeah, these motherfuckers are putting a lock in a sock, and they're waiting for these motherfuckers to come here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stupid.
and but this is and that came from Greg Bovino. The short
Yeah.
version
Yeah.
is I want to be an SS officer.
I don't
Um,
think Greg Bavino is going to leave Philadelphia when he comes here.
I don't think he's going to go to Philadelphia.
no, he's been in Minneapolis. Hey, Eric, how you doing?
What the fuck?
Eric's there somewhere.
Hang on, he's putting his pants on.
No, he's eating a McWiener, so he doesn't have time to. Fucking,
Jesus
Yeah, here
Christ.
comes my 72-year-old or 2
Why do
hour
I keep
man.
joining these things?
what the hell is that noise?
Don't worry about it. Why do I keep joining you guys?
I don't know.
We have to call 911. Do we need to call 911 for you?
I'm
think
telling
so.
you.
Are you being held hostage by ICE? What's going on in the background?
Yeah, blink twice.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, Eric, how you doing, brother?
Not too bad. But why do I keep joining you guys? When did I join in? You guys always dogpile.
Well, Eric, you brought this one in on yourself with all that background business you got going on over there
That's fair.
But,
that you won't tell us what it is.
So since Eric, you're more in tune to like Capitol Hill stuff, I'm just pissy about it. What the fuck is Democrats' strategy? I mean, that's no strategy I just saw the other day.
I don't know. I don't know what they're fucking doing. Because I thought at one point they were going to block the extra DHS funding, then it still passed with Democratic support. I don't know what they're doing.
Eric, I got a question for you. Did you hear about them wanting to bring the FEMA people back? And if so, do you think they'll keep them after this cold spell is over with?
I'm not surprised that they wanted to bring them back. I hadn't heard that, but does not surprise me in the least. As far as would they keep them? Probably not. It's probably going to be exactly like what they tried to do with everybody out of Department of Education. Well, come on back, help get us through the backlog, and then once we're clear with the backlog, you're going to get laid off again because we really don't need you.
I mean, they're going to be
They're
incompetent.
completely incompetent.
They did nothing for Texas during the flooding. They sent them no one. They sent no money other than Kristi Noem showing up in a cowboy hat.
Right. And that's what they said. Will, they said that they're getting bad press over it, and they want to make it look like FEMA's actually helping the Americans through this winter storm. So they're resending the letters that they sent them, to go away and bring
Right.
them back.
Let me
But
tell you.
the thing
Let me
is,
tell you how it works now. Brian Kemp, our governor here in Georgia, has declared a state of emergency, obviously, because it's not going to be a good situation, calling up National Guard, calling up resources. Normally, when you do that, you also reach out to FEMA and the federal government for funds and help. He didn't do that
no.
because he knows better.
Well, under the Biden administration, by the time, like, we knew 3, 4, 5 days ago that this was coming. They've been talking about it for days, right? Biden would have already had stuff staged. He would have had trucks ready to go.
Yep.
FEMA would have been rolling. All they needed was the paperwork, and it would have been done. Except now, with this administration, they may get FEMA aid. Oh, I don't know, sometime in 27.
I mean,
Eh,
there's no.
yeah.
Hey,
It's ridiculous.
hey guys, I gotta go. Rebecca and I have a dog that's dying from cancer, and
Oh,
Oh,
we're probably gonna have to put the dog down tomorrow. So I gotta go help her. I apologize, but I gotta jump off.
no worries, bud.
All right.
See you, TJ.
Good
See ya.
night, guys.
And they also today, Will, I heard them say that they won't allow them to reference the word ice when they're talking about this storm.
So bad.
You saw that?
what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Well, did you see? Donnie himself said this storm is is proof that global warming isn't a thing
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
that.
oh
too.
really?
because
Yeah.
it's cold.
He's a fucking idiot.
He doesn't understand
What
that global
fucking
warming
idiot.
means we've changed the ecosystem. When areas that aren't supposed to get cold are getting ice and sub-zero temperatures this bad, means there's something wrong with the world, and the ecosystem.
It's so
This isn't-
bad. It's so bad that Ted Cruz left again.
Yes.
It's
Again, not surprised.
Ted Cruz is like the new Waffle House index.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be bad when he skips town.
But
How do they keep re-electing that clown?
I have no fucking clue.
This is how fucked up Trump is. He was talking about he could bring down the price of housing with a stroke of a pen, but he doesn't want to do that. But he's going because it's going to lower the value of homes for boomers and older folk. No, what the fuck are you talking about? The system doesn't work like that. I
Well, these
mean,
He
guys-
doesn't know what he's talking about.
I hate him. Well, Will, it's just like what's that Scott Bessent who says that,
yeah, don't
yeah.
even get me started on that motherfucker.
or he says that maybe grandma and grandpa can sell one of their houses because typically we each own 5 to 10 or 12 homes. We could
Yeah.
sell one of those
Yeah.
to get some money in retirement.
It was like I don't these guys are crazy. The psychopathic insanity. I mean, Howard Lutkin was in Davos with Trump, and he literally just said, was it Howard Lutkin or no, Bissett, because it was an economic thing. He told them, yeah, just give him Greenland because just give him what he wants. Don't worry about it. The fuck? I mean, they're so psychopathic. They don't understand what's going to happen if something like that happens. The European hold on the American economy. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with idiots.
Yeah. Sorry
People
about
who-
Teacup, and I was texting TJ about his dog.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. And we can't, and the economy's on free fall. Aside all this craziness and the money they're pumping into ICE, by the way, the money they pumped into ICE in the last quarter would have paid for a year of ACA subsidies. That's a fucking fact.
Yeah.
And so these guys have no idea how the economy runs. The economy is just free falling, and no one's saying anything because Trump's response to it, he gets upset. His last response was that they're lying to him, that the polls are lying, the economy's great. And that's what they keep feeding him, and they're not doing anything. We don't get economic stats anymore. Why? Because they suck, and we
Right.
know it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you can't-
and if they do so, Will, you're exactly right. He fires the people, or he says that hey, they gave out bad information. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they're purposely giving him only good information. They're not telling him the truth about anything. So when he says the economy's great, he genuinely believes it because that's all he's seeing. That's the only information he has.
Right. Well, I can tell you one thing. He pissed off an entire nation today, Will. Did you hear about that?
Which one? Get in
Uh,
line.
Great Britain, the EU, when he was talking about how NATO just kind of stood in the back, didn't really do
Yes.
anything. Yeah, oh
That,
my God.
That full
Yeah.
of crap. Yes.
They're
Hi,
pissed.
Matrix. How you doing?
I was like, wait, hold on. excuse me, 9/11 occurred, and every last NATO nation jumped right for it. Uh, and you lying bum, actually had the audacity to say that Trump Tower is now the highest building
Oh,
in Manhattan.
Matrix, don't call him a bomb. That lying motherfucker. I said it
I'm
for you. Go ahead.
sorry. I'm trying to be, what's it? I'm trying to be politically correct. Not have
Fuck that.
your thing come down. Because
But
not for
politically
anything, it
correct.
was the other night that I was actually on a live and I still got a violation. Don't ask me how. I didn't say a word. I just still got a
I know.
violation.
But yeah, I saw that was such an insult to the, and also in Afghanistan, the NATO soldiers that died in Afghanistan.
Hmm.
I mean, that was like insult to all of them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And like he does, because he's fed this bullshit by his bullshit people who don't understand how the world works.
Mm.
He said that crap with a
RJ,
smile too, Will. He had a little
yes.
smirk on his face.
Smirk on his face. Yes.
Fucking asshole.
But
Yeah,
RJ, I mean, come on. Of course, NATO hasn't done anything. They haven't paid their dues. And you're like, what? Where have you been, you senile cock? Where
yeah.
have you been?
See, that's the
I
thing.
guarantee you, he didn't pay
Someone said
attention
it.
during any of that.
No, he was busy lying about how he lost his friends in the trade towers. Not one person in those trade towers was his friend.
No, he didn't lose
He
any
doesn't
friends.
have friends.
Thank you. Not one.
He has
I
people
mean,
that are using him, and he has people that he's using. But
Mm.
he doesn't have any genuine friends. I don't think he ever has.
No, he doesn't. He's a
no.
fucking loner.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, he did. He had Jeffrey.
well, yeah, I forgot about
Yes,
that.
but
No,
I will
Jeffrey
say
was
this.
an underling.
I think Jeffrey was a business partner, and I will stand by that. That's why they're freaking out about the Epstein. Because
I
I
think
would. There's no way in my mind that Trump would be upset about him taking recruiting girls from his resort unless there was not money being involved. That is a mob boss saying, "Hey, dude, where's my piece of the apple?"
Well,
That's all he
it's
would do
not.
by act.
Yeah, it. Trump is in those files a lot more than I think. A lot more than Epstein is. Honestly, I,
A
I
whole heck
think
of a lot.
I think Epstein is in the Trump files personally.
Good one. I see that as a cop.
According to certain people, Epstein was the business manager, but Donnie was the kingpin.
Yeah,
Yep.
Epstein was the face of the whole thing.
Which brings me to the disturbing question I have recently. What is ISIS' obsession with getting kids?
Oh,
They are
I
trapping
could tell you.
schools,
It's
they are
it's a
stopping
dirty
teenagers,
it's a dirty tactic they're using
Mm-hmm.
to pull the people out of the
Mm-hmm.
homes.
Mm-hmm.
but not the teenagers they picked up on the street.
The
I'm talking about babies.
17-year-old? Yeah, they
Say again?
picked up a 17-year-old. They T-boned him
Mm-hmm.
and took him away. Now, as of this morning, was it this morning that they picked up the 2-year-old
Yep. And
Yes,
with
they were.
with her father?
you know what Bovino said about that?
Oh,
About picking up kids?
what did that nasty piece of crap say?
I don't even want to say it, but I'll quote it. He said it doesn't get any better than this. Unquote.
Okay, he's 5. How tall is he? 5 what?
5'1".
Okay, I'm 5'6". I can beat
Okay,
the shit out of him.
wait. T.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He said that about the arrest of a 2-year-old.
Yes, he
Yes,
said it
sir.
doesn't get any better than this. Unquote.
That
They had
fucking
they
piece
had
of shit.
nothing on their records. There was no
The
immigration.
fucking 2-year-old.
But it's a 2-year-old. What is the two? What's the 2-year going to do? Give you dirty diapers?
No, what he wants the
No, that's what the
2-year-old
president does.
to pull the rest of the people in the house out because he know that if you got my child, I'm coming to get it no matter what. Now
But
they've
she
got
was
me.
with her
But
father.
you know what? Someone's going to come out of the house in one of those
Yes.
situations
Yep.
with their Second Amendment in their
Yep.
hands.
Yep. They are going to pull stand your ground. You are on my property and let loose.
And you are trying to kidnap my child.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Piece
Pow.
of shit. And
Yeah.
now there's another tactic they're employing, Will, and I saw this for myself on a video where if they think that you're following them, they will intentionally bump you
Mm-hmm.
and then say you hit them, and then they take you and whisk you away.
Okay, so
Yeah, I saw that.
that's the second one. The
Yeah,
next
they
one,
arrested someone like that today. I
the
saw
next
that.
one, guys, please be aware. They're actually putting flyers around saying if you want food, you can come to this destination to actually get food.
Yeah, I
They,
saw that.
I mean, this is
yes.
not. It's a quota. This is quota stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It,
You're right.
this,
This is quota stuff. So if that's the case, and we know that the person that put out the quota stuff was the cuck called Stephen Miller, can we like go after him? I mean, because he's just on Quantico. I'm just saying.
I'm going to say this. Stephen Miller never peaked in high school. We are dealing with. We are dealing with. Because have you seen the videos of him in high school? He's
He
the
was a
same.
creepy.
The ones in college.
He was a creepy motherfucker in high school. I tell you what.
But he's still saying the same things in the same voice, the same attitude without hair. And this is all
Um,
the things that he's saying are insane, and he's brought it up. He's never peaked beyond that.
Nope.
He's
I
not even
remember
a
him
lawyer.
in
He has
Southern
no
California
education.
when he was in USC.
Well, your mic keeps going in and out.
Yeah,
It-
Will.
it- yeah, I don't. I'm not on my headphones right now, so I'm on phone mics.
Oh, that's better, a lot better.
I've only seen the ones of Stephen when he was in USC and he had the audacity to stand at a podium and talk about, well, these immigrants should be picking up my trash. That nonsense.
Oh no, they have one matrix of him um, in high school
Hmm.
talking that same kind of shit in a cafeteria.
Didn't
No
they
one punched
boo
him in
him
the
or
face?
something?
Wait, no one punched him in the face? What?
Oh no, his friends were laughing. They thought it was cool. Remember,
Yeah.
there are people who really, everyone that is wearing an ICE uniform or a mask, believe it.
Better.
They wholeheartedly believe that they're on a mission from God.
Well, they're
Listen,
all like that, Will. What about that lady, superintendent, I think it was just this week or last week, that was got caught on a signal chat saying that she welcomes segregated schools, and that's the way it should be. And then when they asked her about it, she doubled down on it.
Okay. Was this a black lady or white lady?
No, this is a white lady. Says she didn't want her kids going to school with the other races.
oh yeah, she thought that the segregated schools were a good thing. That
Yep.
Brown versus the Board of Education was a bad thing to do.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because I've asked this question numerous times and still never got
Later,
an answer.
have a good night.
Can someone please tell me what does the complexion of someone's skin have to do with them? Period.
Nothing.
Not a damn thing. But to certain people, they believe it does.
That's been an argument for centuries.
Well,
That's
Yes.
not even it's not even an argument for me. It's you can't tell if this person is good or bad or indifferent. Not even an argument for me. It's you can't tell if this person is good or bad or indifferent. You
they believe that it's
but
genetic, right? They said that
oh,
they believe that it's
but
genetic, right? They said that
oh,
their genes are more superior.
Since I'm
how?
a nerd, I'm going to bring up. There's this really obscure movie that John Travolta did. Okay, where they flipped the power structure, where whites are the minority and blacks are the majority, and it
Hmm.
shows them how blacks treat whites the same way that whites treat blacks in this system. Okay, it was a really interesting film, and the point being is not about skin color or race; it's about power and who owns the power, who uses that power. Because understand, we could have universal health care. That almost came in the 50s. The reason we don't have it is because they didn't want black folk to have it. Simple as that.
Well, the same with
Racism.
college. Will they didn't want to pay for education either, and that's why
Well,
it's
that
like that now.
that came about. I mean, it was strongly the education piece was strongly pushed at when Reagan came in because my parents used to
Exactly.
say when they first came over here that they had night school. I was like, you guys had night school? The hell is a night school?
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah, there was night school. I forgot about that. But you're absolutely right.
yeah, and I
it's like
understand
night school where people were getting degrees. I was
Yeah,
like,
it
this
was an
is a
what?
option.
leftover. Yeah, a part of it's a leftover from the Civil War and the lack of Reconstruction. When Reconstruction was done badly, okay, you couldn't get rid of the inherent racism that was in the South. Okay,
No.
so when the South came back to power, racism was part of it. Jim Crow was part of it. Also, Woodrow
Mm,
Wilson didn't help because he was a Southerner and he pretty much eh, emboldened Jim Crow laws. This is because that's why we're fighting that to this day. All these people believe in that. And now it's the same scapegoating for Hispanics that it was for blacks. The only difference is that they use Hispanics as a way to say they're taking your jobs. This is old shit that goes back to even the Chinese in the
right.
world.
But didn't they do that to the Hispanics back in the war as well?
Yeah. So no, well, not the war. I'm saying later on. But the point being is that it's a dynamic because white Christian males have been the power base for this country for years. The thing about it is our forefathers wrote a constitution that allowed everyone to have their rights, and they snuck up on them. You see what I'm saying? Were our
Yeah.
forefathers racist? I don't know. I think they were pragmatic when it came to
But
slavery because they
but
needed to save.
Will, you can say pragmatic, but I still have a problem with the 3/5 of a human being.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to argue that point. I see what I'm saying, but I think they wrote a government that snuck up on everyone that allowed us to change civil rights, um, equal rights, all that that allowed us to change the Constitution. But what happened changed or the society as a whole. Immigration from Ellis Island changed society as a whole. They don't understand that. The influx of Irish and Italians, that made a difference. Influx of Chinese. It's always been that way to build the country. The point that's going on right now is that melting pot is a challenge to white Christian males' power base. That's what we got right now. This is the dying embers, very bad dying embers of that
Right.
society. Because there's two generations behind me, my kids being part of it, they're pluralistic societies. Does that make sense? And the only people that are fighting it are the rich white people because they're afraid they're not going to be in charge of it anymore. That includes the way they treat women. That's
Well,
where we're at. It
yeah,
sucks.
that and they don't want to be the minority, in all of this. I saw a poll, which was totally false, by the way, on
Mm-hmm.
X, where they were showing that the population decline by states and cities and all of that, and basically it said that the white population has declined by 60% in the majority of the cities, and they have to fight to get that back. And I'm like, that's not true.
No, I mean it's that's what it is. We have again being a nerd. I think if you've seen Star Trek, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and they have their kind of timeline. They talk about something called the eugenics war.
Mm-hmm.
That people that if you look at it to an extent, we're going through it. If you look at it from that point, because they're not talking about Superman,
That's
they're
what
talking
kicked
about
off Starfleet,
yeah,
the eugenics war. Yes.
yeah, and this is what we're looking at right now. And but it's not. The thing about it is, it's not sustainable. They
Mm-hmm.
cannot. It's not going to last. All these type of governments fail. All of them fail. From the Romans, the Chinese, all of them fail. There is no 1,000-year rank.
So let me ask you
They
this, Will. What do you think their end game is with all of this bullshit? Right? This
they don't
administration.
know. They don't know. Because this is an emotional thing inside them. There's so much burning hatred. Again, Stephen Miller's goal is an America of 100 million people, all white. And they
The
don't
only problem is he can't consider himself white.
Yeah,
That's the biggest thing. It's like that's the biggest joke of them all. You can't
and
consider yourself white if you're literally from the Middle East.
right. And here's the thing: they
That
can't.
makes no sense.
Yeah, they can't connect that America was unique, built by everyone else, built by everyone. How do I put this? We're all different people, but we're all Americans, and we come from we take our idea of America into our own from our own culture. From all that's the way we are. I was talking earlier because you weren't here about Hawaii. ICE is in Hawaii, okay,
Yes.
and that's
Yes, they are.
insane. Think about it. Hawaii is like Puerto Rico. They have
Hmm.
their own culture. They have their own language. Okay. Um, and but the only reason that Hawaii was literally colonized, and the difference between Hawaii and Puerto Rico is they became a state. That's the only difference. Hawaiians have a language. If you've been to
Hmm.
Hawaii, you know it. You
Yeah,
Yes.
they
hear it.
have a language. So what the fuck? Okay, so excuse my ignorance on this, right? But pretty sure there's not a border, right?
You know.
To cross into Hawaii.
Right.
Yep.
There's no border.
So what the fuck are they doing over there?
I don't know.
Vacationing?
Probably.
No, they're actually picking up people. They're actually picking up what do you call it? Asians
Are
who they
you? Come
consider.
on, bro.
Yeah, they're picking up
But what's
Asians.
the difference between
The-
Hawaii? Hawaiians are such a combination. When I went to Hawaii, I was saying before, they thought I was Hawaiian. It was a great because I got all the good stuff. All right. I think I was a tourist. I thought I was Hawaiian. It
Yeah,
was
my
all
wife's
good.
cousin is Hawaiian. Kurt, he used to be the police commander over there. And you're right, they do have their own language. But I don't understand. I mean, I guess I understand the premise of why ICE would be there. But there's no hardened criminals that the MS, you know,
This is again. This is not about crime. This is about removal. I mean,
Mhm.
someone said they're in Maine. Someone questioned an ICE agent about it, and the ICE agent is they said they're going after naturalized citizens.
yeah.
They are
Um,
doing. They're getting ahead of the 14th Amendment if the Supreme Court decides to strike it down. They are not playing
wow.
games with us.
So Bo said they're in Alaska also.
Yeah,
What are they doing in
that'll be
Alaska?
interesting.
Oh,
Jesus
they
Christ.
they're in Alaska?
That's what it says. ICE is in
Southern
Alaska
Al-
also.
Are they in southern, well, excuse me, not schools, is eastern Alaska? Because not for anything, if they go to western, there's like no sun right now.
No, there's no sun.
I dare you to go there
Cold. That's
where there's no
cold.
sun right now.
They got a lot of
And
dogs in Alaska, I tell you that.
you will be thawing out. They will be thawing you out come June.
Yeah. And so the hardest thing for all this, I guess, us who are basically intelligent and normal, to wrap our head around this is because we we don't see the world like that. I
Mm-mm.
mean, the Trump's idea of the world and their idea of the world with this all American hegemony is not going to work because we can't do it. We can't do it by force and we can't do it economically. Definitely economically because Trump ruined it.
Yep.
He ruined that.
You're
But you
exactly
can't
right
do
about
it.
us, Will. My wife came to me yesterday, and she was telling me how she had to unfriend somebody on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Because my wife she's not political at all, right? But she said that she saw somebody, one of her friends is MAGA, and she didn't realize it. And all the lady kept saying was, Democrats are dumb. You know, one of these days they're going to wake up and see that Trump is the best thing that ever happened to us, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, just get rid of that. Just get rid of it.
They because they live in that world because a lot of those people have not adjusted to the new world. They can't get behind that they're multicultural, multifaceted parts of the world. People choose to be certain sexualities. People, women are in charge. It's crazy to them because they live because part of it is evangelical churches who foist on this weird ass version of Christianity with power, which
Yep.
isn't correct. And so they keep and this is something but part of it is because we're dealing with the dying ideas of it. Now, will it kill us? It's a possibility. It could kill us all. But these ideas are dying because it doesn't fit the current world order. The world is not built like that, and it will
You
not
know,
be built like that.
who's been
And
coming out a lot lately, which I think is kind of weird. What is his name? Jamie Dixon, the CEO of Wells Fargo or Chase, the guy that
mhm.
Trump is suing.
Yes, Chase.
Okay.
Yeah, Chase.
JP Morgan. Yes,
Yeah,
JP
J.P.
Morgan.
Morgan Chase. Yeah, he came out
Mhm.
today. Well, I saw the video today where he was saying that, hey, when you've got $38 trillion in deficit and you've got two polarizing parties going at each other the way that they are, and you've got one side that doesn't tell the truth, he said is like two plates colliding, and it'll be the end of us as we know it.
Right.
Wow.
So I'm like, whoa.
And he knows that because they came. If Trump had pushed Greenland, and I don't know, he still will or will not, it would have caused an economic collapse in the United States. Europe would have said,
Mm-hmm.
"F you, we're going to call in our debt," and
Yep.
and they know it. All these rich folk are hoping that they could ride Trump to whatever they want to ride. But here's the thing. I'm going to say this. This is not political. This is about right or wrong, period. And what we're seeing that's going on with ICE and Trump and all that is wrong. It's not working for the United States. It's not patriotic. It's wrong. It doesn't benefit the whole, benefits the few. And until some Democrats figure it out, we're going to take care of that in the midterms. Because it's not just about Republicans we're going to go after. We're going to go after we're going to go after non-progressive Democrats. I'm going to go after I'm going to vote for a Democrat that tells me that we're going to make things better, thinking about Americans, not corporations, and abolish ICE. But I will say this real quick. If that person doesn't win the primary, I'm still going to vote Democratic. Because there's no way I'm not going to vote. I'm not going to go Bernie bro
Exactly.
or vote for a Republican because it puts us in the same place. And I hear that from some of these leftists coming out, well, it's not perfect, I'm not going to vote. Then fuck you, because you're going to fuck us all again.
Did you hear?
It's
Speaking of that, I'm glad you said that. Did you hear that Trump won his Supreme Court battle as far as taking the status away from over 500,000 Cubans that
yeah,
voted for
Supreme
him?
Court is
Yeah.
helping us. And to all Cubans, sorry, not sorry.
Yep, because he said, "Great, and let's go."
And here we are. And that's what we can change in November. I feel we're riding, this is one hell of a wave. We're on a surfboard and we're just trying not to fall off.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
And one of
I
those
agree.
huge waves in Northern California. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and repeat that, T, because Blue was asking what you just said about that.
Oh, yeah. So there was a quiet war he was raging, right, with getting statuses taken away. So he went to the Supreme Court, um, I think once before, and first he went to the regular courts, and the court says, no, you can't take the status away from 500,000 Cubans. So he appealed it to the Supreme Court, as he always does. Well, the Supreme Court gave him his way, and this was 2 days ago. But nobody's talking about that. He's keeping it
Yeah.
quiet, and it's insane.
We've
Yeah.
seen
So
it
they
on
already
TikTok.
have deported 1,600 Cubans.
Mm.
So the rest are on 500,000
Yep,
because they have
500.
special status.
Well,
It's going to
I
be,
do know that three of them were those people that were singing "I will vote for Donald Trump."
Yep, he got those three.
He got those three.
but the sad thing about it, one of those Cubans died, basically was strangled to death in Texas.
What?
That is one of that. Yeah, that was ICE. A man died in ICE custody in Texas, Cuban, Cuban, and it was shown because he was asking for his medication. He got into a fight, or supposedly a fight, with guards, and they strangled him to death among
Wow.
witnesses. They're going to rule his death a homicide.
Okay, so that just happened not too long ago, right?
It happened about a week after Renee Good.
Yep, that's what I thought. Yeah, yeah.
And so and that's the thing, which brings us back to what the Democrats did. They don't understand what's going on. ICE is not a law enforcement agency. And to oppose ICE is not what your think tanks are telling you, that it's going to be another George Floyd defend the police and we're screwed. No, this is what people want. And just because those 7 people are worried about their districts are close, they're not close anymore. It's a different dynamic now.
Yeah,
How
they're
do
not even close.
Yeah, the thing about it is, like, that's the old set of thoughts. The Republican idea of culture war and ICE is not going to get you elected. It's going to be a fault. And these Democrats thinking that they need to do that are dumb. They will win on an affordability message and an abolish ICE message.
Well, you know what they
They
thought, Will? They thought that
Yeah.
America was going to be the way it was the last 4 years with everybody getting along, with the exception that they were just going to be removing the illegal immigrants. They had no clue that this man was this dangerous and this reckless.
No.
And he's showing his ass right now.
And things will get worse as we get closer to the midterms economically. So the problem we're having with the opposite party, Democrats, is they live in a different world that doesn't exist anymore. It's right, wrong. All those special elections should tell you that in those areas that Trump won and Democrats are winning is because the Republican message is not going to work.
Right.
They're leaning on immigrants and the evil immigrants. Well, the pictures of a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old is not working for them, and they know it, and they're
Exactly.
panicking again.
A
Well, yeah, that's
picture
why they
of a
can't use the word
granddad
ice to
coming out
describe an
in
ice storm. Come on.
right. Come on, the picture of a granddad coming out in his underwear and his Crocs, that definitely did not work.
No, it's insane. A pregnant woman being dragged across the ice,
Or the
shooting. The death of
right.
a woman that should not have died,
Or
in
even the
being
woman that
filmed
got
by
dragged out that she
the
was
young people.
disabled. It's like,
Yes,
wait a minute, she's disabled. You clearly see what do you call it when her arm moves away, you see the interior of the car and see the actual knob that she uses for what do you call it? For braking and
right.
accelerating right there in the middle of the console. It's like, okay, wait, she is physically disabled. Why are you dragging her out?
They don't care. They're ruthless. I saw a video today, Will, where it was, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was 6 ICE agents on one guy, right? They had him down. They was kneeing him. They was kicking him. And there was a guy recording him. He says, hey, you know you were being recorded, right? And they all scattered like fucking roaches.
Mm.
Yeah, let's put it this way. It's getting close to 11, and I have to work tomorrow. And I thank you guys for being there. Everyone has been here. Thank you very much. Matrix, Trucker, Eric, everyone has been here. Thank you. Real quick, this is going to come to an end. And Matrix, you would know, and Tucker, you know, all of these type of regimes end badly, badly. And when they end badly, all those people who have done the bad things, oh, there is not going to be kumbaya and we love you. No, we're
No,
coming
no.
for your scalps.
Look, keep posting those files of the ones that are there
Yes,
in that lovely list. Keep posting
yeah,
that.
because that's why you're wearing your mask and you're running away. Because when this is said and done, go look up what happened after apartheid in South Africa.
Oh,
See what
people
happened.
got what is it? The tires got strapped around them and they got set on fire.
Yeah, that's before they had the hearings.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Well,
and
Yep.
so it's getting. And the point is, there is not going to be any kind of judicial what's the word I'm looking for? Lenience. You're going to be tried under crimes against humanity. You're going to get tribunals. It's simple as that. And the worst of you, because they're going to open up those detention camps, which basically are concentration camps, and
Mm-hmm.
they're going to find out what happened like they did in World War II, and then it's on.
let me ask you
It's
this before you end the show, Will, because I've seen this so many times. ICE agents are saying that they don't have to tell you their name or give you their badge because they're federal agents. and they're not required to by only state is required. Is that true?
No,
NSA, CIA, all the alphabet agencies have to give you their names and their badge numbers. So what
yeah,
makes ICE different?
yeah, they're law enforcement. All law
Right.
enforcement have to do that.
Wow.
No, they're
So he
right.
just flat out lied to her. Okay.
Yes.
And they do that for anonymity, but you got paid. We will find those records. You got paid. And that's the
We
thing.
don't.
They think when
Mhm.
they really think that when all is on, Trump's going to pardon them. Hey guys, I don't think he's going to make the rest of the year. How about that?
Oh, we've got lots of people declaring that he's not going to make it to summer.
It's a possibility. I don't know. Sounds how good drugs are or what they're pumping into him, but it's getting worse and worse progressively. The point is, what are they going to do when that happens? Because you've seen JD Vance.
Oh, jeez.
It's gonna be like scrambled eggs, right? I mean, it's gonna be a mess.
But
It's going to
yes,
be
we
a
do
mess.
see JD Vance, but let's
Yeah,
be honest, MAGA's not going to back up JD.
no, no one's going to back up JD because
No.
they
Fucking
know
weird.
what he is. He is putty.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't stand for anything. He doesn't care about anything but getting something for him. And they will laugh at him when he makes orders. He wasn't even liked in the Senate when he was a
No.
senator.
Nope.
Nope. And
Wow.
JD, that's why he's out doing stuff with speeches and stuff. When he was in Minneapolis, he looked ridiculous. He looked ridiculous. He always looks
Oh,
ridiculous.
he looked ridiculous these last 24 hours.
Yes. And so now, I mean, this movement, like any cult movement, is really based on the head. And unless you have a rival within the cult, when the head goes, there's no one's going to take his place.
Yeah,
Because to
they're
be
all
honest,
butt kissers.
yeah, the only one that could probably have done it was Charlie Kirk, and he's
I
gone.
agree.
And
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson, no. Nice try, Tucky. You ain't gonna get it. The He was the closest they could get.
Wow.
Really, to be honest. Um, that's what's going on. So all these guys who think they're gonna get away with this, you're not. It's coming to an end sooner or later. Now, is it going to be painful? Oh my God, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be painful.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say anything else, but I will tell you this. Every day I see desperation. This is desperation because still the Damocles sword of the Epstein files still hangs over this.
Yeah, because they only
Because
got 1% of it out.
yeah, and a lot of survivors are coming out, and they're going to step up, and a lot of these details are coming up. And again, it's not even going to be about what he did. I'm telling you that he was part of the network and benefited from it financially, which is worse than actually doing the acts, in my mind, because you profited from it and you looked at it as a business
It's a
using people.
business. Yep.
That's why it bothers me with the children, because it tracks with a man like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's happening, but it bothers me that ICE is chasing children.
Well, they say where there's smoke, there's fire, and birds of a feather, right? All that shit comes from somewhere.
Yeah, all I'm going to worry about in the next 48 hours is true frozen water called ice. So I'm here in Georgia, so that's what
Yeah,
we're
be
worried
careful down there, Will. I saw them
about.
trying to ice the road, trying to de-ice the roads, but I don't know if that's gonna work.
No, we're not going anywhere. We're staying home. Simple
Good.
as that. I ain't going out. And but other than that, Matrix, good talking to you, Tucker. Always, brother. We still got to
too,
do this
brother.
stuff live. I gotta work out of time for us.
Oh yeah, just let me know. I'm ready.
Yeah, and then also everyone who's enjoyed it. We're to answer one person. Atlanta is already in a state of emergency. They're just going to buckle down and hide. That's what we do in the South. We're not doing shit. We're going to hide. And if you want to go out, that's your problem. That's what we're going to do. So,
Okay.
but the rest of you, Thank you for participating. This was thrown together. All the guests, I appreciate it. Matrix, be safe. Tucker, be safe. And
you're
all
welcome.
guys, we're going to still do this. I'm on real quick. Substack Binder 38 US. It's Substack Binder 38 US at YouTube. I do have a paid subscription. If you want to contribute to me, that's fine. I have at Substack. I have nothing behind a paywall, but still, we're going to be here TikTok till they tell me no.
Yep.
But you guys have a good rest of the day, the rest of the weekend. If you're in the ice storms, just duck and cover. Y'all be safe, all right?
You too.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.